Hello, friend. Welcome to History ZZZ. We're glad you are here. Get comfortable. Let your body settle. Feel the weight of your limbs wherever you are resting. Let your shoulders drop. Let your jaw unclench. There is nowhere you need to be right now. Breathe in and out. Tonight we're going somewhere most people have never been taken. Not Greece, not Rome, not Egypt. Tonight we go to West Africa in the year 1324, to the greatest empire most people have never heard of, to a court of gold and scholarship and music and power that made the kings of Europe look like village mayors. Close your eyes. We are going to the empire of Mali. We are going to the court of Mansa Musa. The year is 1324. The Mali Empire stretches across most of West Africa, from the Atlantic coast in the west to the ancient trading city of Timbuktu in the east, from the Sahara Desert in the north to the deep forests in the south. At its heart sits the capital city of Niani on the upper Niger River. Niani is not a city most people know. It has been largely forgotten by history. Its exact location debated by scholars for centuries, its buildings long since returned to earth. But in 1324, it is one of the most important cities on the planet. It sits at the center of a web of trade routes that stretch north across the Sahara to Morocco and Egypt and beyond, and south through the forests toward the sea. Gold comes from the mines of Wangara in the south. Salt comes from the mines of Taghaza in the north, and everything passes through Mali. The man who sits on the throne of all this is called Mansa Musa. Mansa means emperor or king of kings. His full title is long and layered with names of lineage and conquest. His empire produces more than half of all the gold in the known world. Modern economists have tried to calculate his wealth in contemporary terms. The numbers are almost meaningless. $400 billion is one estimate. Others say more. The honest answer is that his wealth was so far beyond anything that existed at the time that the numbers break down entirely. He is, by most serious assessments, the richest human being who has ever lived. He is also, by the accounts of those who met him, deeply thoughtful. A patron of scholars, a builder of mosques and libraries, a man who prays 5 times a day and reads widely and takes the business of governance with a seriousness that impresses everyone. Tonight, he is at court, and court is everything. The great hall of the palace is long and open to the night air. Torches line the walls at intervals, casting warm amber light across the faces of hundreds of people. The floor is packed earth, swept smooth, covered in places with carpets traded up from North Africa, deep reds and blues from Morocco, geometric patterns from the desert towns. Musicians sit in the corner of the room, 3 men with koras, a 21-string instrument that sounds somewhere between a harp and a lute, delicate and resonant, a drummer with a djembe between his knees, a woman singing in a low, continuous voice that seems to fill the spaces between everything else. The sound of it settles over the room like warm water. Merchants from across the trade network are here tonight. A Moroccan cloth trader in blue robes, a Tuareg salt merchant from the desert, his face wrapped against a wind that is not blowing inside. A scholar from Timbuktu with ink-stained fingers and a manuscript under his arm. All of them have come to the center of the world. Let your breathing slow. Feel the warmth of the room. The music from the kora is very soft. 3 strings played together make a chord that seems to hover in the air for a moment before dissolving into the next. The torches along the wall move slightly in a current of air that comes through a high window. Outside those windows, the city of Niani breathes in the dark. The Niger River moves through the landscape a short distance away, its surface reflecting the same stars that are above you now. Fishermen were out on the river earlier, pulling in their nets by lamplight. The market closed at sundown. The last prayer of the day has been called. The city is settling into night, and here in the great hall, the music plays on. Mansa Musa is planning the most extraordinary journey in human history. He has announced his intention to make the Hajj, the pilgrimage to Mecca that every Muslim who is able is expected to make once in their lifetime. This is not unusual. Many rulers and scholars and merchants from West Africa have made the Hajj before him. What is unusual is the scale of what he is planning. He will travel with 60,000 people. 12,000 of them are his personal servants, each one dressed in silk brocade and Persian fabric. 500 of them are personal attendants who walk just ahead of him, each carrying a gold staff. He will bring 80 to 100 camels, each carrying 100 pounds of gold dust. He will spend freely wherever he goes, in gifts to rulers, in purchases from markets, in donations to the poor along the route. He will spend so much gold that he will accidentally crash the economies of Egypt and the Arabian Peninsula, causing inflation that will take 12 years to recover from. He does not know this yet. Tonight, he is simply planning. The scholar from Timbuktu is speaking. His name is something the records do not preserve for us. He is one of the thousands of scholars who passed through the great libraries of Timbuktu and left their work, but not always their names. He is talking about astronomy. The scholars of Timbuktu had mapped the stars with extraordinary precision. They understood the movements of planets. They knew how to use celestial navigation across the Sahara, where there are no landmarks and the dunes shift with the wind. The manuscripts he carries, one of perhaps 1 million manuscripts that will eventually be housed in the great libraries of Timbuktu, contain calculations that will not be matched in Europe for another century. Mansa Musa listens with genuine attention. He has founded schools and mosques across his empire. He has brought scholars from across the Islamic world to Timbuktu. He understands that knowledge is a form of power as real as gold and armies, perhaps more real. Gold can be taken, knowledge cannot. Breathe. Let the image of the court soften at the edges. The music is still playing. The chorus strings ring softly. Let yourself float above the room for a moment, looking down at the torches and the carpets and the hundreds of people going about the quiet business of an evening at court. It is a warm night. The dry season air of the Sahel, warm in the day, cool at the edges of night, carrying the faint smell of dust and grass and the river nearby. A servant passes with a tray of dates and honey cakes. Another carries a clay pitcher of cool water. The Moroccan cloth merchant is examining a bolt of indigo cloth that someone has brought from the south, a deep, impossibly rich blue that catches the torchlight. The Tuareg salt trader has fallen half asleep against a wall, his head nodding. Even here, even in the court of the richest man who ever lived, people get sleepy. Let yourself get sleepy too. The city of Timbuktu, several days' journey to the northeast, is already one of the great cities of the world. At its height, it will have a population of 100,000 people, larger than London is at this moment in history. Its 3 great mosques, the Djingarabur, the Sankor, the Sidi Yahia, are places of worship and scholarship simultaneously. The Sankor Mosque is also a university. It teaches law, rhetoric, logic, astronomy, history, and the Quran to 25,000 students at a time. Books are the most valuable trade good in Timbuktu, more valuable per unit of weight than gold. Merchants carry books across the Sahara on camelback, wrapped in leather and cloth to protect them from the dust. The libraries of Timbuktu eventually hold close to 1 million manuscripts. Texts on mathematics, medicine, astronomy, history, theology, philosophy, most of them are still there, quietly surviving. A civilization that kept its books. Let your eyes be heavy. The kora music drifts. The torches blur at the edges. You are in the court of the greatest empire on earth, and the night is warm and the music is playing and there is nowhere you need to be. Breathe in, out. The Mali Empire is built on two things that seem opposite to each other. Gold, which is heavy and finite and fought over, and scholarship, which is light and multiplies the more you share it. Mansa Musa understood something that most powerful people miss. You can lose gold to a thief or a drought or a war. But a city full of scholars makes itself strong again. Timbuktu is his bet on the future. It is a better bet than most rulers of history have made. Let that settle. Let your thoughts drift. The pilgrimage will leave in the spring. The route north through the Sahara is more than 3,000 miles. The journey to Mecca and back will take more than a year. When Mansa Musa reaches Cairo, the Sultan of Egypt will come out to greet him. In the protocol of the time, visiting rulers are expected to prostrate before the Sultan. Mansa Musa declines. He bows only to God, he says, not to other men. The Sultan reportedly respects this enormously. The Egyptian court will spend years afterward writing about the encounter, about the scale of the entourage, the richness of the robes, the sheer weight of the gold. One Egyptian official calculates that Mansa Musa's gift-giving in Cairo alone amounts to the equivalent of billions of dollars in today's money, distributed in a matter of weeks. The price of gold in Egypt drops by 25% and stays depressed for 12 years. But that is tomorrow. Tonight, he is here, in the court, in the warm firelight. He has called for the griots. Griots are the oral historians of West Africa, men and women whose families have kept the stories and the genealogies and the histories of kingdoms for generations. They do not write, they remember. A griot can recite 30 generations of a king's lineage without pausing. He knows the names of battles and harvests and droughts that happened before any living person was born. The griot who speaks tonight is an old man with a deep, measured voice. He begins with the founding of the Mali Empire, with Sundiata Keita, the Lion King, who defeated the Soso Empire 2 generations before Mansa Musa was born, and built the foundation of everything that now exists. The room goes quiet. Even the kora pauses. History is being spoken aloud. This is how it has always been kept. Breathe. Let the griot's voice wash over you. You do not need to follow every word. Let it be what it is, a sound from another century, a language you do not speak, full of names you would not recognize. And yet something carries, the rhythm of it, the attention in the room, the way that every person present leans slightly forward, even those who have heard the story before. This is what it means to have a history that is alive, not written in a book somewhere to be read alone. Spoken aloud, in a room to people who are present. The room is with the griot, and you are in the room. Let yourself be in the room. Let your mind go soft. The words become sound. The sound becomes warmth. The warmth becomes sleep. The gold mines of Wangara are somewhere to the south. No one outside the empire knows exactly where. This is deliberate. The location of the mines is one of the Mali Empire's most closely guarded secrets. What is known is the system. The gold traders of Mali use a form of exchange that travelers from other parts of the world find deeply strange and fascinating. It is called silent barter. The Mali traders place their goods, cloth, salt, copper, on the ground near the forest's edge and beat a drum. Then they withdraw. The forest traders come out, look at what is offered, place gold beside it, and retreat. The Mali traders return, look at the gold. If it is enough, they take it and leave their goods. If not, they leave everything in place and retreat again. Back and forth, without words, without ever seeing each other's faces. A trade system built entirely on trust. The griot finishes, the room exhales, the kora begins again, softer now, a single player in a slower rhythm, one string at a time. Mansa Musa thanks the griot with a gift of gold cloth. The old man takes it without ceremony and folds it under his arm. The court begins to settle into a quieter register. The formal part of the evening is ending. Servants move through the room, refilling water vessels, trimming the wicks of oil lamps. A few of the merchants have spread their carpets on the floor and are lying down. The Tuareg trader is fully asleep now, his breathing even, his head resting on his rolled traveling cloak. Outside, the Niger River moves in the dark. The stars are very bright. The empire breathes. Everything is exactly where it should be. Let your body be heavy. Let the warmth of the room hold you. The kora is very soft now. There is a particular quality to the air in a room where people have been talking and now are becoming quiet. A settling, a release of held breath. You can feel it. The Moroccan merchant has rolled up the bolt of indigo cloth and is using it as a pillow. The scholar from Timbuktu has closed his manuscript. Mansa Musa has withdrawn to his private chambers. The kora player continues alone. He will play until the last person in the room is asleep, and then a little longer for himself. This is an ancient habit. Playing music for sleeping people. Playing into the dark after the last candle. He does not mind. The music is the same whether anyone is listening or not. The Mali Empire will last another 100 years after this night. It will produce more gold, more scholarship, more cities. Timbuktu will grow and grow until it is the intellectual center of an entire world. And then, as all empires do, it will contract. Not in a single dramatic collapse, but slowly. Pressure from the north, from the Sahara, from the Songhai Empire rising to the east. A long, slow diminishment over generations. The manuscripts will survive. Families in Timbuktu will hide them, protect them, carry them. In the 21st century, when armed groups threatened the city, those same families smuggled hundreds of thousands of manuscripts out of the city in secret, hiding them in houses and villages until they were safe. The books outlasted the empire. The knowledge outlasted the gold. Mansa Musa was right about that. But we are not there yet. We are here, in 1324. The kora plays softly. The torches are burning low. The Niger River moves through the dark landscape outside. Somewhere in the empire, in a mine to the south, gold is being worked out of the earth by lamplight. In Timbuktu to the northeast, a scholar is still awake, copying a manuscript by a single candle. In the Sahara, a Tuareg trader is moving his camels north under the stars, navigating by the same constellations the scholars of Timbuktu mapped. The empire is alive in all its parts simultaneously. And here, at the center of it all, in the great court at Niani, people are sleeping on carpets from Morocco while a single kora player plays into the dark. This is the world at its fullness. This is the world as it sometimes manages to be. Sleep is very close now. Let the images soften. The court, the torches, the kora, the Niger River in the dark, the smell of Saharan wind and warm earth and the faint incense from the mosque nearby. Let it all become texture rather than image, warmth, sound, the weight of your own body. Breathe in, out. You are in the most powerful empire on earth in the year 1324, and the music is playing and the night is holding everything, and there is nothing left to do but rest. Let go. The empire is keeping itself. You have done enough. The kora player will play until dawn if no one stops him. He has songs enough for a full night. Songs from his grandmother. Songs he composed himself on the road between villages. Songs that have no names and no authors, and have simply passed from hand to hand and voice to voice across the generations. Music is like that. It passes through people the way light passes through water, changed by what it moves through, but arriving on the other side still itself. The kora makes a sound that is very hard to describe to anyone who has not heard it. It is gentle but not delicate, full but not loud. It occupies the air around it without demanding attention. It is a very good sound for sleeping. Let it be the last thing you hear for a while. The Empire of Mali will be largely forgotten by the world for many centuries. European mapmakers, drawing their charts in the 1300s, did know about Mansa Musa. They drew him on their maps, sitting on his throne, holding a golden orb, described as the richest king in the world. But over time, as Europe turned its attention elsewhere, as the trade routes shifted, as the empire contracted, the knowledge faded. The manuscripts stayed. The mosques stayed. The descendants of the griot families stayed, carrying their remembered histories inside them. History is not always written down. Sometimes it is remembered. Sometimes it walks around in the bodies of living people, waiting to be asked. The Mali Empire is still there in that form. It never entirely left. Sleep now. The kora is still playing. The torches are very low. The court of Mansa Musa is quiet and warm. The Niger River moves outside. The stars above West Africa are the same stars above you now, the same sky, 700 years apart. Everything that was made in that empire, the gold, the scholarship, the music, the remembered histories, passed somewhere, changed form, continued. You are part of that continuity too. A person alive under the same stars, carried through the same dark. Sleep, rest, the kora plays on History ZZZ.